but because phase 3 was sort of on the track, we really didn't have as much to say about the future as we have been able to pass on this week. But I recognise that left a gap in many of your experiences and in your contact with the Australian Water Partnership. So I'm glad we're here, and I'm glad we're back doing them. I'd first like to thank the traditional custodians of this land at Naarm we've spent the week on, and who so generously welcomed us to the country, and particularly this afternoon told us about their stories and their relationship, particularly to the waters of this special place. For the distinguished friends of the Australian Water Partnership who've been able to be with us this week, His Excellency Sir Baron Wacker, the Secretary General of the Pacific Island Forum, Lucia Seppo-Lau, who has been a friend of the show since the very beginning, and tremendous source of advice and wisdom to all of us. And you see what a powerhouse she is, and I think when you see that, you understand the change she's making in that organisation and across the member organisations in the Pacific. She's just one of a kind. Carleen Maywald, also an original friend of the show. She's always backed us up. She's always here speaking on behalf of AWP. Tony Wong, really tremendous to have had you consistently and constantly on this journey, and particularly acting as a powerful advocate internationally when we take the show on the road. You're very much part of that team. So thanks again for making time available, Tony. Directors of the eWater Board, Jackie DeLacy, who's also on the AWP steering committee, but a treasured colleague of mine for many years, taught me much of what I know about development. So it's so lovely to be working with you again, Jackie, and thank you for coming. Grace Mitchell, who's in her second term as director on the eWater Board, this time as a independent director, previously as the Victorian nominated director. Again, brings a whole wealth of experience to the board table and to the table here today. Deb Brown was the Victorian nominated director, who you heard from yesterday. Again, very, very busy woman. So we've been so lucky to have so much of her time this week. And great to see former members of the AWP Advisory Committee with us. And of course, I mentioned that Joanne Chong, the Productivity Commissioner, is continuing. She was a member of the AWP Advisory Committee, and she is a member of the AWP Steering Committee now in phase 3. And it's wonderful to have that continuity. Several members of the former expert review panel for AWP phases 1 and 2 were with us today, and their continuing commitment to the vision is just so encouraging to see. Our Australian and Victorian government partners, so we were able to hold a workshop here in Melbourne this year in partnership with DEGA, and again I thank Deb Brown for her support and advocacy of that, and Rob Constantine and others. To our colleagues in the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, fabulous that Becky and Gerard could be with us this week, and I know my old friend and colleague Jean Bernard Carrasco would have liked to have been here, and we'll have him present next year. I'm very confident. Our friends from the Department of Climate Change, Energy, Environment and Water in the Commonwealth, very important Commonwealth sponsor for the whole of the business of eWater. But it's been wonderful to see DQ increase their engagement and awareness and guidance of AWP, especially over the last 18 months or so. So really good to have you here, our DQ friends. All of our wonderful AWP partners, without whom AWP wouldn't be possible. You're the people who deliver. You are the people who bring the stories back from what you do for us and for the Australian Aid Program overseas. And it's there's just nothing like having everybody in the room this week to share those stories and to understand more about why AWP really continues to attract such energy and interest from everyone. And we hope also in encouraging AWP partners in recent years and into phase 3, this will be more important, to work with each other in consortia and learn from each other and certainly learn from the in-country partners that you work with overseas. Last and certainly not least, the fabulous AWP team. They're all here, so I'm not going to go through the names, but you've seen them all and got to know them all if you didn't know them already in the course of this week. Every one of them makes me tremendously proud. It's a thoroughly mature and experienced team with very diverse skills, and I'm so optimistic about AWP Phase 3 being as magnificent as we've been before. We're taking it to the next stage. And of course, our magnificent General Manager, Sarah Ransom, who's always full of infectious energy and new ideas, and amazes me every day. Also, we've had this week here the eWater Strategic Communications Manager, Danielle. Serena, I'm very grateful to her for making the trip to support the AWP team. And Mary Claire, thank you so much for agreeing to work with us. You know, a long-term friend and colleague, but you know, you've really brought a spice and a new way of thinking to this forum, and look forward to working with you more in the future. So thank you all. Thank you for making time in your busy diaries to spend the best part of a week here with us, and safe travels home.